Can you divide out, maybe just walk through on the air and ventilation side, of course, what are the main values? So when you're talking to a client, and these are like, if there's three things that they absolutely have to know, what are those things that they should be focusing on?
Straight off the bat would be that it's an Australian-made product, and that carries so much weight, especially in Australia and around the world. People trust Australian products. So that would be one of the first things that I'll make sure I mention, that everything is manufactured in Preston's in New South Wales. We'll build everything in our manufacturing facility and then send it out to the site. So the quality assurance is all done in Australia. All the testing, make sure that the fan's up to spec, will be done in New South Wales, and then we'll send it over where it is in the world. So that does carry a lot of weight. The second thing, and probably the most important thing that sets us apart, is our pod. So our pod is a set of inlet guide vanes that sit on the back of our fans, and that controls the airflow coming through the fan. Now, this is what's going to give you the complete control over your flow and pressures. So this is the comparative product in this is a VSD, so a variable speed drive. Now, these can be a bit temperamental on site. They don't like dust, which is hard to mitigate in.
If you've ever been in a mine.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna cause you grief, and they're not cheap at the end of the day, and you have to bury them, and they get hot, and it's a complete thing. So we came up with a solution where you don't need a VSD to control your fan. So to break it down, our impeller is running at a constant RPM.
Okay.
Regardless of what flow, what pressure it is, our motor is running at a constant RPM. Now, our pod sits on the inlet side of the fan, and it controls the amount of airflow that's hitting those impeller. So that's where your power usage is going to come. So if the pod is completely closed, you're not getting as much flow out the other side, depending on your pressures, but you're also using next to no energy, next to no power. Once you start opening up that inlet guide vane and loading your impeller more, maybe for some higher pressures or for some increased flow, you're going to be using a bit more power, but you're still only using the amount of power that you need, and then you're getting the cubes that you require at the end of it.